Hello, in this video we're going to look at principles in World War II combatives because it's very pertinent nowadays to talk about things being principle based, and often people ask what are the core principles. Now you've got to remember that at the time things like the Fairbairn-Sykes methods being taught, they don't have a huge amount of time for a whole array of fully embedded and onboarded principles. You've got the time to learn a couple of techniques, smash them against each other, smash them against a dummy, and off you go. Now, with the time we have available to us, we can start to really appreciate what principles might best align with the curricula that we find in World War II combatives. And the one that I recommend or put forward to you, especially to begin with, is quite simply the position of Kazushi, Tsukiri, and Kake. And those are fundamental concepts to a lot of Japanese Budo/Bujitsu, so Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, and other arts. But before that, if we wind it back, kind of initial founding principles that are landed with students are: there is no such thing as fair play, i.e. everything goes. So dissolving yourself of any moral inhibitors that you might have when doing this stuff. You have to strip away a lot of that empathy, a lot of that compassion to do the stuff. So no such thing as fair play, and stay armed, be armed, or get armed at all times, because a tool like this can shortcut a whole lot of physical attributes, a whole lot of mental attributes. It can save you a whole lot of time at the gym. Having a weapon on your person, knowing how to use it, well, that is a bit of a fast track program for the person that's involved in keeping themselves safe. So no sense of fair play, and get armed, be armed, or stay armed. However, assuming that those two things have been followed, I would deploy the Japanese principles of Kazushi, Tsukiri, and Kake. Now, Kazushi is this disrupt. Now, to disrupt, it could be verbally, could be physically, it could be psychologically. Tsukiri is the act of entering into something, actually making the first parts of that movement. That's a really dangerous space, and if you don't do that with proper commitment and good timing, then you're going to fall foul. So Tsukiri to enter and Kake to finish. Now, why do I use those? Well, William Fairbairn, huge advocate of Japanese martial systems, huge practitioner of Jiu-Jitsu and Judo. It's, quite frankly, one of the few very clear ways we can really package something to be principles based and have it universalifiable enough, to make up a word, that we can deploy everywhere. There's a universalized principle we can put in many areas of self-protection. So I'm going to build out some combinations that are built upon Kazushi, Tsukiri, Kake. You can literally pull anything into this matrix, but it makes a lot of sense. We disrupt, we enter, and we execute. So let's take one simple flow here. Now, it might be that you're in discussions, it might be that you've been flagged. Again, we're looking at a World War II context here, papers being checked, whatever. My Kazushi might simply be to chuck that hat. Just chuck that hat straight in the face. Now, you might think, that's not going to cause a big reaction, but it's a lot of coverage in one go. So we're going to chuck the hat as our first piece of Kazushi. Right, so we're going to have our hands up, we're going to chuck our hat. Our Tsukiri is to enter with an edge of hand into the throat, and then our Kake is to finish with a chin jab, grip the eyes, and repeatedly knee that groin. So our flow from Kazushi, Tsukiri, Kake, boom, 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 until the job's done. We have disrupted the balance, we have entered, and we have finished / executed the technique. So quite a simple one there. Could be anything. I'm just giving you some principles to work on. Kazushi, Tsukiri, Kake. We then might have another one. So again, might be a little bit further away this time. They might not have allowed us to get that close. So what we're going to do, at Kazushi in this instance, we're going to feign spitting. Even the actor, you could legitimately spit, you could fake spitting. Often the result is still the same. We said to turn your eyes a bit. So you might, you're going to feign the notion of spitting to get a bit of a turn away, a bit of a reaction, and I can use that to cover the ground. So my disruption, the fake spit, you got to sell it like WWF. You can't be too subtle with any type of feint. They have to fall for it. Yeah? So we've fired the tiger claw shot in, right? So we have Kazushi, Tsukiri, boom. The tiger claw one is great for crossing no man's land. And then our Kake, we're going to grip and transition our tiger claw into a ranger choke, crushing in to that throat here and dropping them down from there. So crushing all the larynx, the windpipe, all this stuff, give it a nice Coke can crush, drop them down. Again, I'm just giving you simple throwaway examples. You plug in any 3 techniques you want into this. But Kazushi, Tsukiri, tiger claw, Kake, driving into that ranger choke. And the last one I'll give you, because like I said, you can pull in anything into this blender. We're going to go from conversational range here. So our hands are going to be talking. We might be defending our case. We might be placating, whatever that may be. Talky, 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 talky. We're going to drop in an elbow strike. And the eagle-eyed might go, well, I didn't see no elbow strike in Get Tough. And you're like, well, you might be right. But in Sykes' curricula, we do have elbow strikes. And in other World War II curriculars, we do. So again, being open-minded with this stuff. Talking, gesturing at the right visible eye level. If the hands are up high, he's got no real reason to believe anything dodgy's going on. Talking, the hands are high, the weapon here, boom, is that elbow. So that is my Tsukiri. My Kazushi is just over gesturing with my hands. Look, whoa, 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 this is my disruption, like, whoa, whatever that may be. The Tsukiri is that elbow in nice and here, and the execution, we'll go for a matchbox hook using the inner part of the forearm, bang, driving that across. So the torque is the Kazushi, whoa, yeah, whoa, from which we have our Tsukiri, boom, we enter, and we have our Kake to execute, bang, with that matchbox hook up top. So whether it's hat, chop, chin jab, whether it's spit, tiger claw, ranger choke, whether it's torque, elbow, matchbox hook, all of those things follow the same principle, Kazushi, Tsukiri, Kake. And it's a really great way to build your own drills and your own combinations. How can I build up? And bear in mind, Kazushi could be physical unbalancing, mental unbalancing, all sorts of things. Could be feints, movements, conversation, push, pull, drag, any number of things. Your Tsukiri gets you through the dangerous bit, which is you deciding to get physical. This is the dangerous no man's land where anything could happen. So we want to make sure when we enter on a Tsukiri, boom, we're actually putting some weight into it. And the Kake is the thing that gets it done and finishes it well. So if you ask me what would be core principles of World War II combatives, especially in the Fairbairn Sykes tradition, I would say the OG methods of there is no such thing as fair play. The OG methods of be armed, stay armed, get armed. And I would also add in there Kazushi, Tsukiri, and Kake. Make your own combinations, give it a play, let me know how you get on with it.